anyone else? Jem says she has not. My Unlock the Phone investigator searched her phones and didn't find any calls, but Jem did recently delete 1,000 contacts, which he thought that was suspicious. Why did you delete 1,000 contacts?
Contacts?
Contacts in your phone were recently deleted.
I don't know about that. It could have been old. I don't know. I mean, what's wrong with deleting contacts?
There's not, but it's suspicious. So that's why we have to bring it up. You come here for a reason, and when you come to a show where we're looking for transparency, and we look through, and there's 1,000 contacts being deleted.
I know I have deleted a lot of people, like pictures and stuff of people, because I feel like I don't need to have people I used to talk to in my phone.
So that's why you're doing that.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, great. Okay, great. There's an answer there. Tariq,
women, be careful with saying I don't need a man. Be careful with saying I don't need a man. I don't need a man. Women, be careful with saying I don't need a man, because the enemy fears you being under a man's headship. If you're under that man's headship, the enemy can't even touch you. The only way he can is if he gets you separated from your husband. He will have to wait until your husband is away to get inside your mind. If you have a praying husband and he's praying over that household, demons can't even live there. They're uncomfortable. You can sleep peacefully. Be careful with saying I don't need a man. You're basically putting death on yourself and your household. You're saying that there will never be a man worth needing in my house. Start asking God, start praying, God, bless me with the man that I do need. That's needed. I need his warrior spirit. I need his intelligence. I need his wisdom. I need that guiding me. I need that. I don't want to curse my household before it was ever created. I don't want to curse myself before I ever received it. Be careful with saying I don't need a man. Women, be careful with saying I don't need a man, because the enemy fears you being under a man's headship.
The community does actually need strong nuclear families, but not because we're black, but because that's the natural order. Because when God looked at man, he said it's not good for man to be alone. He gave him a woman. He didn't give him a village. He didn't give him the community. He said, be fruitful and multiply to this man and this woman. So it's supposed to be God, husband, wife, child, and that's the natural order. And that's why I think we can see some of the foolishness that we see in the black community, because we are out of order. And we can make up all of this stuff that sounds good. I'm from a single parent home, and I'm not somewhere cracked out in the streets selling my body. However, that is not ideal. It would have been better for me to be in God's order, to have a mother and a father to raise me. And that's just what it is. You know, the effect that it's had, we've had women for generations now saying that they don't need a man, and we have boys that don't want to be one.
Made them unrighteous. So how can I protect my woman if I'm walking down the street, she's half naked, and some sadist run up and grab her? Hell, I shouldn't have put out there. If I got merchandise I want to sell, I put them in the window for you to see. So if I want my wife, why do I want everybody to see my wife? What's private? What's mine? Everybody looking at her. Which means what's wrong with it? How can you have a wife or somebody you love? Anything God made precious, nature hides it. You cannot find diamonds easy. You have to dig and dig and dig. And then you got to work to clean them. You cannot, you cannot find, listen, you cannot find gold. Everything God made valuable, he made it hard to get. Pearls, rubies, and ain't my oil. You have to dig, and half the time it don't strike. Everything God created that was valuable, he made it hard to get to. Ain't my woman more important than some diamonds and some oil and some gold when she's the field which produced my sons and daughters? Why should she walk around all nude in all of these design clothes? Her breasts is out. She's on the beach wearing clothes that show more than her panties when she go to bed. That's right. People don't just might as well come out with a brassiere on and her panties. She'd be more covered up than she do in the European style, with just something covering up her nipple and just a little old G-string over, and she's walking out on the beach naked. These are savages. How am I have my daughter, my wife, or my woman walk around for her man? Ooh, look, I could do. Boy, if I could get to her. And what I want that for? She's mine. What do you mean, what's wrong with walking around half naked? That don't look bad to you because you're of the European nature, and the black people are righteous. And the Europeans have made them unrighteous. So how can I protect
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 1 in the AMP. The wise woman builds her house on a foundation of godly precepts, and her household thrives. But the foolish one who lacks spiritual insight tears it down with their own hands by ignoring godly principles. Koholayamla, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rekak, Quadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1 in the AMP. The wise woman builds her house on a foundation of godly precepts, and her household thrives. But the foolish one who lacks spiritual insight tears it down with their own hands by ignoring godly principles. And this is just a clear way to, state and let it be known, and also to remind that the instructions, the guidelines, the ways that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has given us are the correct ways to govern our family, our foundation, our household, our nation. Okay, and for you beloved sisters that have been considered to be awoken and considered to show forth your effort, your due diligence, your fear, okay, your daily motivation for this truth, for your heritage, that'll also be conducted in your household, and also how you walk towards and reverence and acknowledge Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You'll have a foundation of godly precepts, meditating upon your la'ab daily, man. Okay, you'll actually apply this to your life. And those that are foolish, they lack spiritual insight, intellect. Okay, and before I go on and speak further in this quick lesson, this quick edification, know, if you came to watch this video, I'm not cussing out the Israelite woman, okay, the so-called black, Hispanic, Native and similar woman. No, I'm not here to cuss them out. So if you came here to hear that bullshit, you might as well go ahead and go watch another video. Okay, go seek another brother that's going to give you that type of spirit that you're seeking for, that you're looking for. Okay, this is an example. Okay, for you sisters to be very thankful, and always be considerate of being remorseful, and not taking things for granted that the Lord has done for you, and that the Lord will continue to do for you if you endure, and if you stay in this truth, and if you seek righteousness and walk uprightly, man. It's just reminders for you beloved sisters to keep in your mind, to apply daily, man, and to not fall short from. So not only building your household with your children, and being a wife to your husband if you have one, but that main house first is yourself. You have to, cleanse and sanctify and purify yourself first, man. Okay, so if you don't have a husband, so you can be a wife. And if you do have a husband, so you can be a better wife every single day that the Lord breathes life back into you to wake you up for a new day. Okay, but let's continue. Let's go to the book of 1 Peter chapter 3. I'm going to read verses 5 to 6 in the Good News Translation. For the devout woman of the past who placed their hope in the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, used to make themselves beautiful. Listen, beloved sisters, used to make themselves beautiful by submitting to their husbands. Now, this is a very, very beautiful translation, I would add, because I'm going to read it again. I'm going to read it slow. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 5 in the GNT. For the devout. Now, what does that word devout mean? Let's look at that word devout real quick for more edification. Whoo! Devout, having or showing deep religious feeling or commitment. Again, devout, having or showing deep religious feeling or commitment. Okay? For the devout women of the past who place their hope okay, their hope in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, used, okay, so they placed everything in the Lord, and they used the Lord to make themselves beautiful by submitting themselves to their husband. So what does that mean? That means that the woman took heed to the precepts, the commandments, the words that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai has ordained to our nation. They took them seriously. Okay? They didn't just, speak mouth service and didn't apply deeds, didn't apply effort, didn't apply work. Okay? Verse 6. Sarah was like that. She obeyed Abraham and called him her master. You are now her daughter if you do good and are not afraid of anything. And it's not per se that the brother might want you to call him master, and others says Lord. Whatever you have in your marriage, that's your marriage. That's between you, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and your husband. But at the end of the day, you're not being a righteous woman if you're not submitting to your husband, because it's confirmed and stated by the Lord that a woman must submit to her head, which is her husband first and foremost, because the Lord is dealing with the men, giving the men the insight spiritually, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding to give to the women and children. Okay, so I'm going to read this straight through. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 5 in the GNT. For the devout women of the past who placed their hope in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai used to make themselves beautiful by submitting themselves to their husbands. So they used what the Lord has told our nation, the instructions, the guidelines, the laws, the statutes, the commandments. Okay? Verse 6. Sarah was like that. Okay? So again, you beloved Akwaf, which I've done various lessons on a righteous woman that feared the Lord and did the best of their ability to walk uprightly. I've done various lessons, but you have Esther, you have Judith, you have Sarah. And did some of these women, error? Yes. We all erred in our ways. Did the prophets error? Yes. Okay, but what did they do? They always repented. They always acknowledged the transgression, the fall that had occurred at that time of their weakness. Okay, Sarah was like that. She obeyed. Do you hear that? She obeyed Abraham. So with you obeying your husband, you're also obeying Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and called him her master. You are now her daughters if you do good and are not afraid of anything. Okay, period. Point blank period, man. Self-explanatory. So let's go here. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 40. And I'm going to start off at verse 18 and off at verse 19. To labor and to be content with a man. So to labor and to be content with that man is a sweet life. But he that findeth a treasure is above them both. Okay, so if you women don't know, you're a treasure to your man. That's a gift from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, especially if you're a woman that fears the Lord and you want to be in subjection, in submission to your husband, man. You want to please your husband. You want to be a helpmate towards your husband. You want to be, his pillar of rest. You want to be able to embrace him, to give him comfort, to make him feel like, he has the best gift in the world from you that's given to him from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and amongst other things too, So again, Sirach 40 verse 18, and when you labor, you're laboring not just for that man, but again for that foundation, that legacy that's being built, that you're a part of. Okay, you're bringing forth that man's offspring. Okay, you're conducting and doing your share, your part to make sure that things are upheld according, again, to the customs and guidelines and instructions of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. To labor and to be content with that man is a sweet life. But he that findeth a treasure is above them both. Children in the building of a city continue a man's name, and that is true. but a blameless wife is counted above them both. Now we know that, nobody's going to be blameless in this captivity, because we're being awoken to our heritage. And before we were awoken and brought back to life to our heritage, we were filthy, we were dirty, we were of the world. Our minds were contaminated, polluted with the customs and the philosophies of this a wicked, corruptible society, man. Okay, so but when you're awoken and when you're brought to life, when you're finally living, now is the time to start that, that new sanctified, purified life. Okay, to attempt to be blameless, because you're going to err, you're going to fall. We all do. All right. We can't be perfect, but we can attempt to be perfect as we can. All right. But we'll be blameless in the kingdom when we have those new bodies, those new hearts, and the law, statutes, and commandments are written in our inward parts. We won't go off. So we will be blameless then. Okay? So, but let's continue. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 26. And this is just a reminder for you beloved sisters to keep in mind on the things that you should be continuing in. Because these are the commandments, the guidelines, the instructions of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And what does it says in the book of Proverbs 13, verse 13? Okay, those that despise the commandments. Matter of fact, I'll just read it real quick so I don't want to butcher it. Just a reminder, Proverbs 13, verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. So, hey man, you choose. Self-explanatory. So this is going to be this book of Sirach, chapter 26, and I'm going to read this in the Good News Translation from the top. The husband of a good wife is a fortunate man. He will live twice as long because of her. Because again, you're supposed to be a pillar of rest, comfort. You're supposed to bring value. You're supposed to bring relaxation. Embrace that man. Okay? Have kindness on your coming out off of your tongue. Okay? The husband of a good wife is a fortunate man. He will live twice as long because of her. A fine wife is a joy to her husband, and he can live out his years in peace. And see, that also goes into, the hellish condition that we live in right now. Because if we had actually that, what is being read right now, a little bit of this captivity, this bondage, this affliction, this nightmare that we live would be lifted up off of us, man. But our women are, not you sisters that obviously, I don't gotta say, but you sisters know what I'm stating right now. But obviously it makes the wound more grievous. It's like throwing salt in the wound, man. To have our women against us and to be in alliance and in cahoots with the enemy, man. So it's more grief for our minds. Okay? Verse 2 again. Sirach 26, verse 2. A fine wife is a joy to her husband, and he can live out his years in peace. A good wife is among the precious blessings given to those who fear Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. I'm gonna read this again. A good wife is among the precious blessings. So sisters, you got to be a precious blessing to your husband. Don't you say you fear the Lord, right? You watching the videos, you studying, you applying these precepts to your everyday life, correct? So be that precious gift, that precious blessing to your husband. And again, we're going to fall. We're going to err. We're going to slip up. We're not perfect. We're in these chains of darkness. Okay? So there's going to be times when you're going to come short. There's going to be times when, Satan might be on you and might accomplish, something in you that you don't regularly do against your husband. You may speak in a way that you shouldn't speak. You may speak loud at him. You may do something that you don't naturally do because at the moment Satan, overcame you at that time, whatever it may be. You repent, acknowledge it, and also, apologize to your husband. When you men, you know what you got to do for your wives too. You can't be a tyrant in your household. I believe that's Sirach 15, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, be a tyrant, not in our household. Okay, but again, all these things are between Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, you and your husband. It's just a reminder to keep these things meditating in your spirit, in your heart. Okay, so be that precious blessing. Okay, because obviously, especially if you got a man that's out here doing the work, he's showing forth his fear. So, be that precious blessing, that pillar of rest, that comfort. Have that kindness coming off your tongue. Okay? Well, let's close out. Let's grab this last precepts and we'll close out here. Let's jump back to the book of Proverbs. And, and I advise you, beloved sisters, to read the book of Sirach 25, the whole chapter, Sirach 26, and also Proverbs chapter 31, the whole chapter. Okay? So this is the book of Proverbs chapter 31. And I'm going to read this in the AMP. Proverbs chapter 31 in the AMP. And I'm going to start off at verse 26. She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom. Do you hear that? She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom. And the teaching of kindness is on her tongue, giving counsel and instruction. And how are you getting that? Because you're being taught by the prophets. You're being taught by your husband, if he is a teacher, if he is a prophet, okay, on how to conduct yourself, how to go about it. You're receiving that wisdom from Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai through the men, through the prophets, on how to go about things, how to be a wife, how to be a mother, how to be to build your household according to the precepts of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, and amongst other things too. How to come back to your heritage. Verse 27. She looks well to how things go in her household. Okay, also referring back to Proverbs 14 verse 1. And how does she look well? Because again, she uses those godly precepts. Okay, she's spiritually informed, spiritually insight. Okay, as I said, a spiritually insight. Okay, she looks well to how things go in her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Okay, does not partake into the philosophies, the customs, or drinks the wine of Babylon the Great. She's only drinking the wine of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, verse 28. Her children rise up and call her blessed, happy, prosperous, to be admired. Okay, and that's a beautiful sight, man, for your children to know that their mom is in order, man. Because the children are in order. Okay, because Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai is in the midst. Okay, there's order in the household. Her husband, okay, listen, Akwaf, her husband also, and you hear that? Her husband also is doing the same thing that the children's doing. He's rising up and calling her blessed. Why? Because she's submitting to him. She's submitting to the Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai because of these precepts, because of what the Lord has ordained and has stated and has said to our nation, how things should go. She doesn't buck up against it. Okay? She conforms to it. She understands it. She loves it. She embraces it. It puts you, your spirit is right. Okay? Verse 28. Her children rise up and her husband, her children rise up and call her blessed, happy, prosperous, to be admired. Her husband also, and he praises her, saying, many daughters have done nobly and well with the strength of character that is steadfast in goodness, but you excel them all. So you out here handling business so damn well that your husband has to commend you, has to tell you that you're doing a great job. He's showing you that he values you. Again, he is showing you that he values you because you're in order. You're not worried about what these wicked bitches say about you loving your husband, about you being in subjection to your husband, because them bitches want to be out of order. They want to be boss bitches and I got a degree, I got a master's. Well, we'll see if that degree and that master stops these prisoners, these foreign troops, from taking that pussy when that time comes. We'll see. We'll see when you pull that motherfucker out and you say you got it, if that'll stop them from strong arming that pussy. And Salakia, the Spirit had me say it the way it had me say it. Okay? Verse 30. Charm and grace are deceptive and superficial, but beauty is vain. Whew, let me read that again. Proverbs 30 verse 31 in the AMP. Proverbs 31 verse 30 in AMP. Charm and grace are deceptive and superficial. Beauty is vain, but a woman who fears Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi, reverently worshiping, obeying, serving, and trusting him with all filled respect, she shall be praised. Kol holayim la abanawa Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi Bahashim Rekak Radash. So it's just a reminder to you, beloved sisters, man. Keep these things in mind so you can stay in line, stay in order. Okay? Point blank period, man. Self-explanatory from the last precept I said. And I'm going to read it again because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm going to read it again, the last precept. Proverbs 31 verse 30 in the AMP. Charm and grace are deceptive and superficial. So you're not superficial, you're spiritual. You're holy, which means severed apart. Okay, didn't Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi said, ye shall be holy, and I have severed you from other nations? Yes. And that makes a big difference, man. Beauty is vain, but a woman who fears Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi, reverently worshiping, obeying, serving, and trusting him with awful respect, she shall be praised. And that's what type of woman is being rebuilt, re-established right now amongst the hopeful elect, amongst the remnant. Those women are being retaught, reformed, cleansed, sanctified, purified right now before your eyes. Are you one of those women? I hope and pray that you are. And you should hope and pray for yourself. So Adawan Ratazah, I hope and I pray that this was edifying, uplifting, and informative to the true sincere Aki and Wa'akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say, Kol holayim la Abanawa Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi Bahashim Rekak Kwadash Watha Wada Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi Bahashim Rekak Kwadash, for putting the Spirit on me, my elder apostles, elder bishops, elders, brothers on down, for doing these epistles to enlighten you, to inform you, to edify you, and uplift you through the power and spirit and words of Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi. May the blessing and election and protection be upon you and your household. Adawan Ratazah, until the next one. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.